Every year, someone declares cold email dead. 2018, 2024, now almost 2026. Same headlines, same panic, AI filters, spam, saturation, and yet somehow the people who know what they're doing are still booking meetings, closing deals, and growing pipeline. Cold email isn't dying, it's maturing. And the gap between people who get it and people who don't keeps getting wider. The future of outbound belongs to the people who understand psychology, timing, and context, not the ones blasting automation templates. There are two guarantees about outbound 2026. First, the number of attempts to make contact will go up, and second, every leading indicator will go down. Call pickups, open rates, reply rates, all trending the same direction. So, what do most teams do? They double down on the exact thing that's causing the problem. More volume, more tools, more noise. They think we'll outsend the competition. But when everyone's playing the same game, you're just adding to the chaos. Cold email doesn't need more brute force, it needs focus. The new game is about being selective. You can't talk to everyone anymore, and you don't need to. The goal isn't to reach every prospect in your market. The goal is to reach the right 3%. The old model was a funnel, wide at the top, narrow at the bottom. The new model is more like a martini glass, narrow at the top and then deep through the stem. Shrink the number of people you reach and then go deeper on the ones who actually deserve your attention. But going deeper doesn't just mean sending more follow ups or adding more channels. It means creating small, highly relevant micro segments inside your market and knowing exactly what to say to each one. This is the part almost nobody talks about. Instead of trying to personalize at scale, which usually ends up awkward and fake, you use your own expertise to break your market into smaller, meaningful groups. Think about your own clients for a second. Picture five different ones. What's unique about each? What's happening in their world? What do they care about most? And now imagine writing to each of them individually. You naturally say different things, right? That's segmentation. And once you do it once, you realize there are hundreds of people who look like each of those five clients. That's how you scale relevance without trying to personalize at scale. For example, let's say you sell to marketing agencies. Small agency owners are drowning in client work, they're doing half the delivery themselves and running on caffeine and guilt. Their pain is time. Bigger agencies, they're hiring designers, onboarding new clients, and their pain is ramp time or consistency. Totally different problems, totally different language. You don't need AI to tell you that. You just need to think like an operator, not a copywriter. Now, AI is incredible, but 95% of people use it wrong. They feed it a list of 10,000 contacts and say stuff like, write me a relevant message. And then they wonder why everything sounds robotic and disconnected. The right way to use AI is the opposite. You use it to help you think, not to replace thinking. Drop your data into Clay instantly, whatever you use, then ask AI to find patterns, clusters, similarities, and group people based on what's actually happening in their businesses. That can be new hires, funding rounds, tech stack changes, product launches, website changes, whatever matters in your space. Once you've built those micro segments, that's where you step in as the human expert. You know the product, the market, the pain. You can tell AI these 200 companies are scaling their design teams. Write me three ways to open that conversation, or you just write it yourself. The point is, AI should make segmentation easier and research easier, not personalization faker. But all this starts with being honest about where you actually win, not where you could sell, where you already do. Look at your last 10 deals. Where were they? Which industries? What kind of teams? Who drove the deal internally? Then find the two or three verticals where your win rate is the highest and your cycle the fastest. Focus on those only. That is your total winnable market. Forget the rest for now, because when you go deep in one lane, your messaging starts feeling like truth, not like sales copy. You start using the same words they use internally, and that's how you break through saturated inboxes. And then the final piece is timing. Attention opens when change happens. So find change. Hiring, layoffs, new leaders, funding expansion, new tools, all of those are signals that something's shifting. So when people are in motion, they're more open to new ideas. Outbound used to be about interruption. Now it's about interception, catching people at the right moment. And when you combine a relevant offer, a tight ICP, and perfect timing, your message suddenly feels like help and not like spam. To give you an example, last year I worked with a B2B startup founder who basically given up on outbound. He spent 6 months sending thousands of personalized messages and nothing. I asked him to pull his list, and it was a random mix of just every company in his CRM. Now, we did three things. First, we cut the list by 80%. Second, built three micro segments based on what we already knew worked. And then third, we rewrote the messages to speak to each segment's world. Now, one segment was, for example, hiring fast, one was cutting costs, and one was expanding globally. Then each message reflected that reality. Same offer, same founder, same email domain. Reply rate tripled in a month. Not because of magic copy, because of relevance. This is why cold email still works and always will. Reason number one, it's still the most direct line to anyone, anywhere. No gatekeepers, no algorithms, no rented audience. You own the channel. Then reason two is the only way to shape demand before it exists. Inbound waits for people to have a problem. Outbound finds people right before they realize they have one. And reason number three, it is constant feedback. Every no, every reply, every not now, that is free first party data. Outbound is the fastest way to test positioning, pricing, and messaging in the real world. So if you think of it as just a channel, you miss its real power. It is a conversation engine. The main takeaway is this: the future of outbound isn't about who can send the most. It's about who can understand the most. Small, thoughtful segments, sharper offers, perfect timing, and yes, AI as an assistant, not as a ghostwriter. Cold email isn't getting easier, but the harder it gets, the more advantage you have if you know what you're doing. Relevance scales better than volume ever will. So, no, cold email isn't dead. It's just finally forcing everyone to become good at it. In my next videos, I will show you exactly how you can combine AI with your skills to set up cold outbound campaigns that actually convert. So make sure you subscribe.